In this session, we're going to be looking at visualization. Now, some people don't want to get into this because they don't feel like it's effective or they think it's something weird. But you and I actually think in pictures anyway. When you picture red car, if I say the word red car, what do you picture? What do you think of? Well, you're either going to think of a red car, maybe a car that you like, whatever that might be, or you might even think of the word red car, right? You might think of the color red. So in your mind, you're seeing something. It's either you're seeing the letters and the words, and maybe it's in red, maybe it's not in red, or maybe you're seeing a car, right? Maybe you're seeing the picture of a car, but you're seeing something in your mind. Okay, your mind is probably not just blank when I say red car. So this is, once again, it's God-given. It's something that we do anyway. All that we're doing now is we're using it to our advantage. And so we're going to be using the power of visualization. Athletes have been using this for years. People have used this for centuries, right? Probably since the beginning of time. I don't know. I wasn't back there. But it's certainly a part of how we think. So we're simply going to use that to our advantage. So in visualization, there are two types of visualization that I'm going to share with you. One is inside visualization and one's outside visualization. So understanding that this is the way our mind kind of works anyway, what you are essentially doing is creating a movie of yourself, right? A movie of yourself doing what it is that you want to do. So in this context, in this program, we're talking about fluent speech, speaking fluently. Rather, speaking fluently on the phone, in an interview, doing a presentation at work or in school or reading, you're going to picture yourself doing that fluently, okay? So there's what we call inside visualization and outside visualization. In inside visualization, you are essentially seeing the event happen through your own eyes, right? That's why we call it inside. So you're on the inside looking out and you're seeing the event happening. So let's say, for example, you are visualizing or picturing yourself doing an interview, okay? I get lots of people saying they are just not able to get the kind of jobs they want because they mess up in the interview. So let's say you picture yourself going through the interview successfully, right? So you picture yourself walking in. First, you picture yourself preparing that morning. You're prepared, you're looking over possible questions, you're even rehearsing the interview itself, going through the questions, going through your responses, going through how you're going to be dressed, how good you're going to look, how good you're going to feel when you walk in. You're going to be prepared to actually navigate that interview. If there are words that you struggle with, you're going to navigate your way around those words. If you mess up, you're going to just keep on moving. You're not going to let that stop and destroy the interview. So you're picturing yourself being successful, navigating through that interview successfully. You picture yourself walking in, looking the person in the eye, shaking their hand, smiling, sitting down, or whether it's one person or a panel, and they're asking you questions and you actually see yourself responding and you're saying, yes, well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. The first thing that I'd like to say in response, so you actually see yourself and you hear yourself responding to those questions smoothly and fluently, and you add some emotion. You see yourself smiling with confidence and you add some emotion to that, which we'll talk about in the next session. So this is one way of inside visual. So you're creating a whole movie of this experience, this event, and you're seeing it happen from the inside. Makes sense. The second one is outside visualization. That is, you're actually going to see yourself like you are a spectator. So like you're someone else looking at you. So an example might be you have to give a presentation in class, right? So you're sitting back, you're part of the audience, and you're seeing you stand up and give the presentation. So here you are, you're sitting, you're saying, wow, that person looks really confident. I mean, they're smiling. They don't look like they're nervous at all. They're dressed very well. And I'm just really excited to hear what this person has to say because I know they're going to do a great job. And then this person, they open their mouth and they start speaking and you're like, wow, you know, they're really engaging. I'd love to hear this person speak. So in other words, you're sitting back like you're watching this person on stage and you're impressed with them and you're smiling. You're like, person is awesome. They're great. They're an excellent speaker. That's outside visualization. So it's like you've created a movie and you're the star. You've created a movie and you're the star and you're watching that person, you're cheering that person on. So, inside visualization is you're seeing it from the inside, outside is you're seeing it like a spectator. Using those two techniques, a combination of those two or one of those two, what you can do is create your own positive movies, if you will, of yourself doing whatever it is that you want to do. Whether it's giving presentations, reading, interviews, phone, whatever it is, you picture you're talking to a guy, talking to a girl, picture yourself doing it. The more you do this, the more powerful it becomes. Here's how this works. You see, your subconscious mind, right, or your unconscious mind, actually is experiencing those events as though they were real. So with your conscious mind, you're going through this movie, you're seeing this happening. And the more you do it, it's like your mind is experiencing it for real. It's like your mind is saying this was an actual event. Remember, we're talking about actualization. Your mind is saying this is an actual event. So this isn't something that's make-believe. This is a real event. Studies have shown that your body even responds as though it was an actual event. If you picture something happening that's frightening to you, like you picture someone's after you, and you really visualize that and you get yourself into the experience, your body will start to respond as though it's real. Your heart rate will go up, you may start to sweat, and you'll actually feel like you're in danger just by visualizing it. Make sense? It's the same kind of stimulus as if you are picturing a man or a woman. So let's say you're a man and you're picturing a woman and you see this person, you say, wow, they are fine. I mean, you're really attractive. And you start visualizing and fantasizing about that person. Your body, right, starts to respond as though you're actually touching that person or kissing that person or whatever. Makes sense. It's how we're made up. That's why people can visualize and fantasize about things and their body reacts to it. So you're using the same technique to fantasize about yourself speaking, okay? So it's a very powerful technique, as we know. And so what you're going to do then is you're going to use this technique to kind of trick your mind, right? You're going to trick your mind so your mind acts like this is a real successful experience. And remember, the more successful experiences you have, real or imagined, the more your subconscious mind records that and starts to believe, hey, this guy or this lady is an excellent speaker. I mean, we've experienced excellent speech. We've experienced an excellent interview 10 times. Or maybe you haven't gone to any interviews, but in your mind you visualized it, and so your mind says you've experienced it 10 times. As well as the positive verbalizations or affirmations, right? When you tell yourself and then you picture it, then your mind thinks and starts to believe that it's real. And that's what you want. You want to take it from something that's potential to something that's actualization, actualizing. Does that make sense? Listen to this particular session over and over because these two techniques are so very critical and powerful when we talk about verbalization and visualization. Just picturing. Athletes do it. They picture themselves going through the movements, whatever it is. They picture themselves going through the moves over and over, and they analyze and pick apart each movement until they have it down smoothly, right? And the more they visualize and picture it, the more real it becomes, and their real or their actual performance improves and increases, okay? You can do the same thing with your speech. You picture yourself doing it, you actually experience it, you see it, you say it, you write it, and it moves from something that's in your mind to something that's real. Now in the next session, we're going to look at emotionalization. So we've talked about verbalization and visualization. Now we're going to add emotion to it, right? And that's like the icing on the cake. Okay, so I'll see you in the next session.